Welcome back to Tiebreaker Day. Before we dive into our final matchup between 100 Thieves and Echo Fox, we do have to throw out a quick rules correction. As we were talking about the playoff picture, we were using a slightly outdated rule set when it comes to seeding of semifinals.
Yeah.
Jad, if you want to clarify.
Yeah, so exactly. In Spring Split, we did a thing called dynamic seeding. So the 6 seed would always play the 1 seed. This split, the 1 seed picks their semifinal opponent from the 2 teams available. So since Team Liquid's the 1 seed, they just get to pick from the 2 winners of who they play.
Right.
So this game still matters for who is 3 and 6 and who they play in the quarterfinals, but it does not impact their semifinal opponent.
And it's good for the higher seeded team because sometimes you catch a team that's hot in playoffs and the way that they ended the season doesn't really reflect that. Like C9 would have been an example of this.
Right, like, if C9 had ended 3rd
or 4th even, and then they get,
or whatever.
Yeah, like that'd be a situation where it's like, I don't want them. And I want to pick the higher seeded team. And previously against dynamic seeding, you would always put the highest versus the lowest, and now it just falls on the agency of the top team.
Absolutely. With that, let's dive into this all-important 3rd place matchup between 100 Thieves and Echo Fox. As was stated earlier, Echo Fox with a smashing 25-minute game, 100 Thieves mounting the comeback victory against FlyQuest. What are our thoughts going into this matchup?
Whew, well, a lot of this prediction goes down to the all-time record between the teams. I feel like Echo Fox still doesn't have the cleanliness to win a high percentage of their games against 100 Thieves, and 100 Thieves did even show in their victory over FlyQuest that even if the early game goes a little bit sideways, they can still pull it together. Someday's been a beast. Hooney's been more inconsistent. I hope Someday can get an advantage in that top lane, and then the shot calling and teamwork of Aphromoo can hopefully get 100 Thieves.
I'm going to be a lot more nearsighted. I don't disagree necessarily with anything Jat talked about and how I think 100 Thieves.
I mean, Jat did say large percentage. This could be the small percentage.
Yeah, stylistically, I agree with everything you said, but 100 Thieves looked pretty bad in that game. I thought they looked super distracted. Maybe they're going to be more on because it's a higher stakes game here, but Echo Fox beat TSM beat FlyQuest. You know, there's that whole who played the harder
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, a little bit thing. So I think just with how Echo Fox looked in their game, I was relatively impressed against TSM, and I think they will continue to do well. And if 100 Thieves play anything close to the level they played in the first game that they did, they're going to be in trouble.
Now, players continuing to set up on stage. Earlier, you guys had given me win conditions for all 4 teams, but in different matchups. So kind of similarly, I'm going to let you guys represent your own picks here. So, so Jat for 100 Thieves, Mark for Echo Fox. Where do you think they win this game in particular?
You definitely don't want Lost on Varus if you're 100 Thieves. That's like, it's a little champion focus, but don't let him have Varus. That is like the pick he can play. The other things he's looked a lot weaker on. Beyond that, like, it's really just strong laning phases. Make sure you have disengage so you can take the game late.
Yeah, I think for the most part for Echo Fox, I liked a lot of what they saw, or what I saw in the first game. I would like them to continue to get Dardoch good matchups in the jungle. Please don't get like counterpicked by the Poppy again, which is the game that 100 Thieves most recently beat them in. So maybe if you need to hold his pick a little bit, you don't need to spring for the Trundle. I'm not super concerned about on this Trundle, and that's something that they did previously. So I would say look a lot more around the jungle than we're used to talking about for good matchups. Which is usually it's like top or bot or something like that, but jungle matchup is very important.
All right, so yeah, quite obviously jungle matchup going to be important. We still have time as there is a small issue for DeMonte, I believe, getting set up on stage. So diving further into it, you talk about maybe protecting Lost, even just in a larger context of, you know, looking into playoffs, like how confident are you that a team can protect a young ADC like that, you know, through best of 5s and some of the highest pressure matchups that he'll ever be?
Yeah.
Well,
not.
I don't expect you to be.
I also don't know if that's the thing that will make or break Echo Fox's playoff run. Because I think there's a lot of highly volatile variable positions on Echo Fox. Like, yes, Lost. So Lost is volatile because he's inexperienced. Hooney's volatile because he's Hooney. Dardoch is volatile because he constantly invades. Like, everyone on that team is exceedingly volatile, which just makes this team hard.
It depends who they play against, because TL obliterated that bot lane after Double Lift kind of smack talked them. So I think it will depend on also who they're playing against.
All righty, well, that's going to do it for us here at the desk, because the team's already on stage. We're tossing it out for our last tiebreaker game.
Welcome to the Battle Arena. 100 Thieves on your screen right now. The 2nd place finishers from the Spring Split. They can now finish in 3rd of the regular season with a win right here. They'll get their guaranteed matchup up against FlyQuest, which by all rights looks to be a likely win if that is the case. And they're up against a team that they are 2-0 against on the split in Echo Fox. So we'll see if they can keep that train going.
Yeah, remarkable performance here from 100 Thieves, a new organization to have second place in Spring Split in their inaugural split, and then here playing once again for third place. Very consistent performances we've seen from them throughout the existence of a team. A lot of it does have to do with the late game and with the veterans that they acquired, but as the analyst has said, coming into this, Echo Fox are looking very hot, big performances from their players across all boards.
Let's see what kind of strat these guys want to bring out. Lots of different hovers for 100 Thieves. I'll wait to see. Both these supports have had a pretty decent variety of champions played. There is that Varus ban, of course, that we knew was coming through. But priority on Kindred or Trundle tend to be the top two junglers. Nocturne now starting to get pushed away from a very little bit here. Well, still, of course, could be an answer, but a Trundle Kindred trade would not be surprising at all.
Yeah, I don't feel like Nocturne really plays into the style for 100 Thieves. You know, more 5v5 oriented for a late game, play around Cody Sun, you know, protect the AD carry type of thing, not necessarily dive in on the enemy. So Trundle will be the pick, standard tank shredder, great front line, can get early scuttle crab control. On the other side though, Dardak, very happy to have Kindred. He went absolutely wild with it during Rift Rivals against the European teams, even when losing, really impressed them. And has been a very, very offensively oriented jungler. So makes a lot of sense. And here we go. Demonte gonna try his hand at the Akali.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we do get some more plays between those two because the champions work very well together.
Yeah.
You go into the Shroud, as soon as you come out of the Shroud, you get low, you get in any sort of danger. Kindred ultimate covers a lot of weaknesses. These two champions work around timing windows very well.
And I expect to see Echo Fox pick their last solo laner, the very last in this draft. Akali is the exact kind of champion Huni would love to play, I am sure.
That's true.
And I've seen plenty of Akali top lane in professional solo queue, so I trust these guys both have the champion in their pools, and flexing that around seems really valuable. LeBlanc is going to be the answer, and I am curious, though, if 100 Thieves thinks Echo Fox will flex that, or if it's going to be an obvious mid laner for Demonte.
Looks like that. Looks like that's what they decided on. LeBlanc definitely more likely towards mid lane. I think it's very unlikely that we would see that one up top side for someday. So looks like they want to have that matchup, and we have seen LeBlanc options into Akali, bully early on. If you start to get a kill, you know, snowball, it can be very oppressive the other way. Once again, another Jhin locked up. This one for Cody Sun.
But I like this draft though, because we do finally have different roles locked for both teams. 100 Thieves took the best marksman they thought was going to be down there with Varus off the table, and Echo Fox seeing two of the big tanks banned away, and in fact 3 if you count Rakan. Alistar probably the next one up there, and they can start targeting bans at Aphromoo while waiting for somebody to blind pick a top laner. And this is going to be interesting though, of course, because yeah, there's the Ashe ban I think we all expected to see afterwards, and it's going to push Lost down several pegs. He cannot play a utility marksman anymore. Unless he wants to go for something like Sivir, which I doubt. He's played one Xayah game and one Swain game. Of course, with Rakan gone and obviously Alistar being already picked, the one seems unlikely, but we'll see what comes through.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is, again, as you pointed out, Aphromoo getting banned so much. There are all of his top played supports off the table right now. Does he pull out something like the Pike, like we just saw from JJ? Could very well be the option. I really did enjoy Aphromoo when he played it previously.
And I think Pike and Thresh both are good soft counters to both Akali and to Kindred, because if you can still land the skill shots even through the Shroud, and with the hook and the pull and everything else, you can get them off the stealth or off the invulnerability and get those kills picked up. I'd actually like to see that. I think Aphro's really good at that kind of champion. But of course, remains to be seen what he wants to actually go for here. I think this comp would fit a Thresh. I think Pillars are good at setting it up, for example.
Expect an AD carry pick here for Echo Fox in this round, so they can hide that last counter pick, and it will be the Kai'Sa for Lost.
Not much of a surprise. It also means there's a lot of backline access now. If Alistar lands ahead but Pulverize, we know the Kai'Sa can ult to join. Akali already wants to assassinate. And so champions like this Jhin in the back line can be very quickly picked off by Akali and Kai'Sa together.
It is Lost's first Kai'Sa game in the LCS, though. So it will be his first time around this one in a very important match, as they mentioned on the analyst desk. This is for third place and definitely a big seeding advantage. Boom! Got it.
Yep, the Pike is there, Kobe. You called it correctly, and I really think Bone Skewer can thwart a lot of the plans here for Echo Fox. Again, the ultimate, of course, Essentially, it's pure damage. It goes through shields. It goes through not invulnerability, but
Pure.
like shield
Is that our
buffs.
new term since the definitions of true things have been
It,
skewed?
it actually already exists because Fountain Laser deals pure damage.
okay.
It deals damage through revives and through shields and whatnot. It's not quite the same because invulnerability still affects Pyke, but it's almost pure damage. In between the two, it's slightly impure. It's flawless damage, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
I still get tilted
good
by
against Alistair.
I still get tilted by True Sight doesn't reveal Akali.
I agree with
whatever you want to call that stuff.
I personally agree with the obscured weirdness, but that's where we are with the game. And you know what? We're going to deal with the game as it is. It's going to be a call in the mid lane. Gnar will be the counter pick into the Cho'Gath here, and we know Huni's going to buy a Rageblade third to really try to push that one down. Pyke for Afram in the bot lane alongside a Jhin, the exact matchup we had just seen, I do think, from the FlyQuest side. Meanwhile, yeah, Kai'Sa and Alistair, I think, work very well together, especially alongside an Akali. A very aggressive comp for Echo Fox, which I'd expect nothing less.
Okay, we get our Akali LeBlanc matchup in the mid lane. I'm excited for this one once again. Early stages, we'll see if the junglers make any sort of extra pass towards a lane like this as far as ganking goes. Even if you get off one combo of your skills in harassment, really does help out. We'll have to see. Kindred for Dardoch has been one of the biggest champions over the last few weeks, so definitely some good stuff coming out of Champion Select. Even a more aggressive look from 100 Thieves for me, honestly. It does look a little bit more early game oriented than we are used to seeing from them.
Gonna be a fun one to watch for. I do love aggressive teams. Assassins in the mid lane, and plenty of aggression available in the bot lane. Engage tools abound. The lineups on your screen one more time. These are going to be your 3rd and 4th seeds heading into quarterfinals. They will not meet again until the 3rd, 4th place match in the actual playoffs, maybe the finals if they make it that far, or maybe the regional qualifiers based on how this all works. We'll see if they ever fight again. Maybe the world finals the next time they meet. Who knows? All of them on the table for Riot Thieves and Echo Fox. Of course, your 2nd and 3rd place teams from the spring split now doing battle for 3rd and 4th in the regular season. Riot Thieves in blue, Echo Fox in red. And I'm just excited to watch Akali play.
Yeah, as much as craziness as we've had over the summer split, really the only big change out of the top teams was Cloud9 making their surge. But again, I agree with you. Excited to see Akali. It's interesting that we have Demonte pulling it out. You know, this is one of the guys up from the Echo Fox Academy squad. He's performed very well. You know, North American talent, homegrown. Double F had words about him, describing him, I believe, yesterday. He said Demonte is a very talented player, but tries too hard to prove that he's good sometimes. And that's kind of maybe a mentality a lot of people associate with Dardoch and Huni as well. So maybe the top triangle of the Echo Fox team, very talented, but can try a little bit too hard maybe, or go a little bit too deep on risky plays. We'll see. Akali is a perfect champion for that and for pulling off those risky or lofty plays that you're looking for.
I like lofty. It's a good word. We'll see if it comes through. All-time record 4-1. I believe it was 2-0 in this split. 100 Thieves maybe are favored. Jat predicts 100 Thieves will win this one, but Mark Z thinks it'll be Echo Fox.
All right, what are you? Team Jat, Team Mark?
Oh no. See, there you go. Thank you, graphics team. I'm glad I remember that right.
On the top side, we also had Dardoch starting off on the red for Kindred, and he's going to hop right over the wall in to check the top scuttle. Now that is a move that can be dangerous if the enemy jungler moves straight up from the red buff, but as you can see on the minimap, Enda is actually doing the Raptors right now, so Dardoch walks in, takes the blue buff right out from under him.
So he's going to get the blue, no problem here, and gets to keep going into this jungle. Of course, we're going to start seeing vertical moves out of this Trundle, so he'll grab Scuttle and get in the buff steals as well.
And this is something you see very often for Echo Fox. Dardoch wants to allow Huni a solo matchup. Huni was dying a lot early on due to ganks. You know, everyone would complain, it's a 3-minute gank. He dies every time, so he's pushing up, playing aggressively. If Dardoch splits the jungle like this and doesn't allow the enemy jungler up, then you get the advantages of Huni playing super aggressive and winning his matchup, punishing the enemy, CSing under turret, and trying to get his advantage that way without the possibilities of those early kills coming through and the face palms.
And what's great is that combo even helps him go for the invades because Nar's got the push. He's first to move if he does get caught out there. So Dardoch gets to take all 3 camps with impunity. They go back to his own jungle. Of course, he's still going to lose all 3 of his camps on the right-hand side. So it's an equal trade of resources. But as you mentioned again, it guarantees that Nar is safe.
Plus an interesting little mind game here. While Dardoch is leaving his top scuttle up because he wants the mark to respawn on it, Anda also left the bottom scuttle up with the mark, knowing that he could return to it and Dardoch wouldn't be on the bottom side to delay the delay on the mark respawn. So now it's going to be even longer before that one does head back up to the top side.
Yep. 40 seconds, I think it is. So at about 4:05, Dardoch can grab that one. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember hearing. Worth pointing out also, one small wolf was left up by Anda. That little mark you can see in the minimap there is going to stay up until that gets cleared out, whereas a small tempo lead otherwise, and that the Krugs have already been fully taken out by Kindred, but that is eventually going to be matched by Trundle.
Dardoch going down to the scuttle. He's going to get it low, and then what you do is you just keep it there at 1 auto attack, waiting for the mark to possibly spawn on it, because he saw that the bottom one's already taken, so he's just kind of waiting around at the scuttle right now. It has 1 hit left on it.
And there it is. I think he just got it. I heard the sound effect. I think I heard the sound effect.
It did, yeah, because you can see the swirly right there.
There we go.
So we
I
didn't
wasn't
get to
in the
see
right
it, but I knew exactly what he was doing.
Yep, big brain.
In the
Smart
end,
play.
is able to get it. Now we're going to have Trundle back out after his first purchase for Anda, upgrading his smite and returning to the top side of the map. You should know after you split the map like this, there could possibly be lots of vision lying around waiting for you in what previously was your half of the jungle. So any sort of aggressive move up to the top side would be very ill-advised. High percentage chance that the enemy will see it coming.
Yep, Scuttle Crab on the one side, a ward behind on the other. We know the blast plant doesn't spawn until about 6 minutes, so no way in for a Trundle if he wants to flash a wall. That seems unlikely. Looking down at the bottom lane, a gigantic lead for Cody Sun and Afro, but now there is a Dardoch coming around. If this push goes too aggressively, they're going to flash for it. A double knockup is in. They're going to look for Afro. Goes for the stun, finds that, and he's kiting away pretty safely. No kill to be had. Only 1 flash burned out of Cody Sun.
Yep, flash from Smoothie in exchange for the flash on Cody Sun on the Jhin there, but also a decent amount of health going down as well. Dardoch should be able to retreat back to his Gromp right after. Did reveal for a second, though.
Gets rid of a little plant. Looks around. Okay, Gromp's back up, and once again they go into the farming game. A small, short farm lead, camp lead for Anda, but similar things going to be available as we look now as Afro moves roaming back to the bottom side, and recall did get stopped, I think, on Smoothie there, so that's going to be a little painful.
Yeah, slightly distinct recalls. They can actually keep the mini wave down there in their favor for 100 Thieves right in front of the turret as well. Sitting in a pretty decent spot with a decent amount of vision control. But look at the CS in mid lane here. LeBlanc counterpick for Ryu is indeed punishing the low range assassin Akali early on, and he is first to level 6. Going back for his purchase now, is able to get his whole lost chapter. So Ryu feeling pretty confident as far as the 1v1 and abusing this matchup, but Damonte now hitting the level 6, does have the makings of the Hex Drinker ready for the LeBlanc level 6 and the possible all-in that they get with the access to those abilities.
I'll wait to see if that fight comes through. Right now, 200 gold lead for 100 Thieves overall across the map. A lot of that is in the bottom lane. A lot of that's in the mid lane. Otherwise, they're trading pretty nicely. Thank you, observers, for the toggle on the gold right here. As Anda will get the second round of scuttles. That one goes down to the bottom side and keeps that one away from Kindred. Nice skew. We're going to land on Lost, rooted up in place as well, and several hundred health missing.
Dardoch also on the Kindred is going for the attack speed build, which, if you have press the attack, is going to be the higher DPS build for later, but we've seen so many professional Kindred players transitioning over to the Warrior for the cooldown reduction and the early presence. Actually does go over to the control word clear out here as Rio goes in for a trade, and Damonte reacts pretty quickly.
And it's going to be a trade of blue buff steals, looks like, as well, as Dardoch is on that one right on the timer. And not long away is going to be Anda on that Trundle over the same situation on the eastern side. Smites it, gets the damage, Mounting Dread comes through, blue taken. So neither mid lane are going to get one, which to be fair, benefits the energy user, so that kind of situation is good for Echo Fox. However, look at this. No one's pressuring, so Ryu will actually get his own blue, and that's going to be, well, not his own, but get a blue. That's actually quite nice to have that mana pool.
Yeah, he's going for the recall pretty early here as well, after only getting 20 or so more CS. And he had full potion stacks. Oh, cancels it actually. There we go. He's going to stick around for another wave.
All right, well, Lost looks like he was sent back to recall one more time, as he had recalled a little while ago and is now walking back into the lane. This farm difference still at 11. He's sitting on the backside here. This has been pretty good for 100 Thieves. Managing to push Lost away, and it seems to be kind of the tail of the tape. They get him off his comfort picks, and the Echo Fox lane does not look so good when that happens.
Yeah, also Jin Pyke really strong
Sure.
as far as the laning possibilities for all ins. Dardoch, though, again hovering to the side. He wants to punish them moving up. Remember, the flash for Jin still not back available. Smoothie could Hex Flash from a brush to go for an Alistar combo, but Dardoch's revealed.
Flash was used, but yeah, no one wants to have it pulverize. Aftermove is simply too evasive, and Cody Sun out of range.
Yeah, with vision on Dardoch, they knew there was a possibility there.
Yeah. He's going to go for the Mountain Drake instead. 9 minutes into the game, Mountain Drake being soloed out. LeBlanc can head over. He's actually making the walk, but Ryu's going to take some time to get there. Trundle's far, though, so no Smite steal.
Mountain Drake taking a long time to kill, though. It's the tankiest of the Drakes, and Dardoch gets it down to 2,000 HP. Afromu halfway up the river.
Okay, he's got to watch out for the chance of a burst combo onto him. He wants to stay for the Drake, and I think it's worth it to do so. Smoothie going to play interference. Mountain Dread is on, and he gets the Smite down in time, so Mountain picked up.
Devontae gets chained up, though, on the other side, and is going to pillar.
He's obscured, gonna get some damage, jumps around, gets quite a lot of damage on the Trundle, has to get back in there. He's gotta be careful. He jumps out of Lamb's Respite. The coordination is wrong. First blood to the Trundle, and the fight's gonna continue. Smoothie rooted up. He's invincible practically for a while, but he doesn't have an escape route. Health bar's gonna run low, and Afromu gonna secure the gold.
They have to pay a very high price for that dragon in the end. Demonte and Dardoch here with the Akali Kindred and the timing windows we talked about in Champion Select, not able to pull it off as he uses his ult charge to jump out, even with the Ignite on him, and burns down outside the range of the heal. Meanwhile, we're going to have Huni run into Anda face range.
And it's almost got Smite. It's pretty much in for this now, and Pillars onto Huni. What's he going to jump for? He's got some good damage. Actually, Trundle's getting a bit low. Now Ryu's here, and Huni can jump away. Rooted in place, and there's going to be a chase. He's got the damage. Ryu gets the kill.
All these kills going over to 100 Thieves around the mid lane. A little bit careless play from a few members of Echo Fox, starting to stack up in 100 Thieves with a sizable gold lead now. All right, take another look at how they start up the Dragon. Dardoch, even though he gets low, they finish off the Dragon, and that's a great move, but Demonte starts this one off in the 2v1, then goes super deep, flipping over Anda, and as soon as they see him flip over, Ryu knows easy to go all in. Then he also jumps out of Dardoch's Kindred ultimate. That means Smoothie's gonna get hooked back in by Afromu, who gets to use his execute for extra gold on Pyke. And then meanwhile, Anda was sitting in the brush here for Huni, gets hit with the pillar. There's no flash on Huni, so he only has the Hob. He has to save that to get over the wall. Uses it there, and Ryu able to ward immediately, allowing him to finish it off.
Nicely played there. So 3-0, 100 Thieves up 1,700 gold. Demonte actually going for the Bruiser Akali build. We see that one much more rarely in both solo queue and pro play. It's almost always been Gunblade, but he's building for surviving some of the matchups here, facing a LeBlanc and plenty of damage. Now a dive in the bottom side, looking to get it all through onto this, and they will get the kill on Anda. And the fight continues 3 versus 2. Aftermove on the run, down to half HP. Good kill, Echo Fox on the board.
Yeah, Echo Fox still looking for the offensive play. They are ready to pull the trigger, go all in quickly. Kaisa ultimate, as you said, immediate follow-up on the crowd control from Smoothie, and they do get a kill back for themselves. The kill went over to Dardoch on Kindred here, who does have completed jungle items. So Dardoch actually feeling pretty strong.
Yeah, 2 marks now for that champion, but a lot of room to grow still. Sitting back on a 1,200 gold deficit. Echo Fox have the work cut out for them. Mid lane has stopped the bleeding. That difference has remained at about under 20. That hasn't grown too much, I feel like. But Ryu, of course, still having his way with his lane. You can see how far back Demonte's playing. Stuck under turret, less hitting when he's allowed to.
There's been so much talk this split about academy players and players with less experience in the higher pressure games. Now that we're in the tiebreaker for the 3rd place spot, a couple mechanical mistakes showing themselves from Damonte, and now getting bullied under his turret on the Akali in the face of this counter pick from Ryu, whose Ignite is coming back up shortly.
Oh, he's got the roots, a pretty big chunk of damage on towards Damonte. And out he goes, popping the Hex Drinker out of him, which is a big deal.
Just barely pops the Hex Drinker. That is a good cooldown for him. Dardoch actually gonna get chased out of the river as well.
All right, just gets rid of some of the vision, and back on the map they go as he's gonna keep trying to sustain. Damonte's gonna get a heal from his Q in a second, and should be able to survive this as he plays around his cooldowns. But 4 in the mid lane for Thieves, this could be a bit hard to defend. You've got a stun coming out from Smoothie in the front line, a bit of a join as he's pulled back into the team. A big chunk, and that's now Alistair ultimate popped. Good damage out of Ryu.
Yeah, Smoothie gonna have to go back to base after using the ultimate as well, and plenty of vision for 100 Thieves to work with too. One of the best things about Aframu leading the team in for vision first for all these plays that they do. That's why we rarely see the 100 Thieves over chase or over dive, because they have vision around to know when there are reinforcements, and now they're looking at mid.
And back on the strat goes Damonte, looking at potential bit of a fight here as Dardoch takes a lot of damage, has to ult to keep himself alive against Ryu. Takes the heal, gets out.
Yeah, and they're really on the defensive here, taking a lot of damage for the mid turret as well. Still have first turret bonus gold available if they group up once again and try and push for that objective.
Let's see where they go next into this one. The next Drake spawning in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Echofox got the first one, but both junglers are able to solo that without much of an issue. Hex Drinker coming back from cooldown soon. We take stock of the top lane matchup, and Huni has not managed to do much of anything. A 3 CS difference, and it's actually Huni who's given up a kill earlier on.
Yeah, someday there, farming away very nicely on Cho'Gath, and has been able to rush the Righteous Glory. That's a super good item for Cho'Gath. For me, it always feels really bad to build as far as the component stages, but now he's been able to complete the entire item without losing CS in lane, so he'll have that for the team. And I think that's very important for 100 Thieves and for Someday to have the Righteous Glory speed activation to get into one of these squishy targets. There's so many good targets for him to pull a feast off on, especially if you continually have a LeBlanc forcing out these Kindred ultimates early. This has been a very good pick into the Kindred, as we've seen in back-to-back games now. LeBlanc effortlessly going in for those trades, forcing the Kindred ultimate out, and then waiting on her much shorter, like 30-second cooldowns before going back in for another window.
Right now, you saw the wave clear come through. Damonte getting the recall out, and he's going to stack up his items a bit more. 1,800 gold on his recall. Plenty of items to buy for himself. And Damonte, yeah, he'll buy up, wait to see what he gets. Right now, Dardoch taking away this Rift Herald. A little bit of help from Huni, who, despite not having a CS lead, does indeed have lane pressure. And actually, they're going to give him and the Herald, and I actually like that a lot. I do think there's time and places where you want to give it to someone not your jungler. Aftermove pushed a little bit low, and we'll see if that top lane outer can fall because of that one as he jumps forward. Goes the flash, can't get the stun though, but he's looking for damage. Can they knock him down? And yes, that is actually comes through, but traded back by Trundle, and here comes the runaway. Looks like Dardoch still pushing forward. Will only fight for jungle camps though. A 1-for-1 assist to 100 Thieves. Dardoch gonna be still in range, gets found out, exhausted, has to jump away, a headbutt to keep safety, and a pulverize for some more. But watch out because Jin can still open up. He can knock down a lot of damage on a Smoothie, and he can still look for Dardoch based on what they can do.
Teleport's coming in as well, and Lost is rotated over.
Smoothie on death's door, falls down. 5-2 overall kills for the flash for Huni. He will knock down Cody Sun, but now he's in enemy territory. 1 versus 3 nearby, hoping for the empowered recall. Does he get it in time? No, the pillar comes down. Huni has to jump pretty soon, but he's still 1v3, and if he jumps, he shows up in a Cho'Gath, goes to the big ult, gets some pretty big damage. Oh, he's actually gonna get him! You're freaking kidding me! Huni picks up 1, but he's gonna be raptured, and Ryu gets the shutdown.
Oh, Huni gets 2 kills for his trouble in the teleport into enemy territory, while the rest of his team resets, goes for the minion wave pushes, and purchase.
I can't believe he got away with that kill.
Almost got away with the Rift Herald empowered recall too, which would have been equally as hilarious to me. But I agree with you as far as giving the Rift Herald to a member with teleports, because the possibility of getting 2 turrets with your Rift Herald and super high value is definitely there with a split push champion like Gnar.
Well, 3 members defending a 2-person push. This turret down to about 1/4. Going for the hard dive. He's deleted. Instantly, Ryu's dead.
Yep, Smoothie instantly pulls the trigger. Combo goes down. There's the follow-up once again. Lost doesn't hesitate. And that is another kill over for Echo Fox. closing in on this gold deficit. Again, first turret bonus is still available, and they're the ones with Rift Herald, but 100 Thieves have done way more work on the mid lane turret. This thing only has a couple more autos left. Here's another look at how it started out. Ryu uses both distortions in on Damonte and then takes them back to the middle of the lane. So Damonte tries to use his ultimate along with his flash to finish off that kill and does so. In the meantime, though, then we think Dardoch is overstaying because bottom lane rotates up. Jin's coming from this side. He's going to be able to land the root off of the Bone Skewer. Or not the root, but does zone him backwards. And Smoothie's like, I got to get these guys out of here. Does his best to allow Dardoch to escape. Looks like he's got the teleports then start to come in as Lost rotates. And Smoothie in the end does have to give his life for his teammates. But Huni says, I'm finishing this teleport and I am finishing this kill on Cody-san. Then he tries to get the, oh, I think the end of the sweeper might have seen the spot there. Regardless, Enda was able to get in there to finish off the cancel on the recall, but Afromu then gets stunned up by Huni, who just full combos for the kill.
And just in time, too, of course, if Afro finished to cast an ultimate, he would have killed him and not died at all. So quarters of seconds there in between the two. This game now only 600 apart. Echo Fox have fought back from a very difficult early game. And that is nicely played to most of the squad. As Cleaver and Sune Blade of the Ruin King for Huni will get him into a better spot against this Cho'Gath that he is really yet to bully. 3-1-3 on Anda, though. This frontline Trundle has pretty much all the gold. Maybe not the ideal person for it. We're actually seeing Damonte's build actually is going towards the more standard AP heavier build, but stopped by Hexdrinker for the early laning phase, then went for the Gunblade as per normal.
Yeah, and actually, you know, he's caught back up in CS versus Ryu, who on the block has been trying to create those plays and roaming to the side. The big difference is Dardoch in the jungle on the Kindred. Level lead over Anda and a large amount of CS. Huni actually with that Rift Herald didn't get the answer turret. So Echo Fox still without the turret kill. And 100 Thieves have the open mid lane already. Now Someday though might have to deal with the classic duo. Dardoch pointing Huni in the brush.
100 Thieves giving away pressure for now. I do feel like I want to see Echo Fox sit around and make sure they secure this gold income.
Okay,
Dardoch's
they might
doing
go
that.
for it.
100 Thieves not really going towards him. You can see 100 Thieves' view right now. They don't know that Kindred's here, but with how far up Huni's playing, you can probably assume it.
Well, look at the minimap. There are 4 members coming down for 100 Thieves.
Yep, there's the collapse as the wave comes in. They go for the play. Someday forced to flash out, but the root's going to find Huni. Gets a bit of damage, but has nowhere to go off the wall up. Jumps in, gets away from one shot, gets away from the last of them. But Anda nearly in range. He's going to find the chomp. Lamb's Bite buys some time, but will it be both their deaths now as Afro finds the stun? Looking for the trade kill. Someday gets the one. And now the chase towards Dardoch. Not rooted, running towards the turret. Jumps over the pillar. He might just stay alive. Decent damage though as Cody-san dives in forward. He should have the shots to secure it, and it's 2 for 0, 100 Thieves.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Echo Fox are trying to push down the turret to make that worth something, but Ryu wants to put a stop to it.
Yeah, cooldown's used up.
Yeah, you don't get everything you want, Free.
Ooh, they're gonna lose half the value of that turret though, and actually, they'll lose all the value of that turret. 13 health left on that one, and it's gonna stay up, so Echo Fox still goose egg for turret kills.
Well, Damonte wants to make you a liar pretty quick here.
Anyway, bot lane outer falls. Second turret of the game for 100 Thieves. Damonte, his wave's running thin, and Sunday's here.
Oh, man.
Shroud. All right, that's down. And then he gets to walk away. So finally a turret on the board for Echo Fox.
All right, Damonte is able to finish one off. Lost able to follow quickly, and that is a lot of money in quick succession here for Echo Fox. Bottom side still very low as well. But man, those kills getting over. You could tell with Huni playing super aggressively, like you said, they kind of inferred that there must be a Dardoch down here. Huni and Dardoch so often playing together as a duo. So 100 Thieves just bring 4 members down and pull off the kill. That was a very delayed couple of kills though, which allowed Echo Fox to grab the turrets. Here again is another look. Someday he's tanky, so he knows he can walk up. Wait for the rest of his members of his team to join. He does flash out in the end as well. And Huni has some pretty nice sidesteps on the ultimate shots here to buy some time. And that, you know, kind of a Dardoch time to come down on the Kindred, allow him the heal, but in the end also secured Dardoch's death.
Oh, and a dive in on the Cho'Gath though. Can somebody survive this one? He's pretty tanky. Frontline towards Smoothie. Jumping forward is lost. Almost gets picked up, but stays alive. But Pyke shows up, makes it a trade kill. And now it's a 3 versus 3 in the mid lane. A pullback and a Smoothie. This Alistair could be in danger. Nah, 1 for 1, back they go, back to wave clear.
Both assassins joining from their side lane. Split push here though, and they're going to continue.
He engaged. Jin missed the first 2 shots, lands the third, and the fourth won't do much. Echo Fox taking it. Huni withstands all that damage and looking for somebody to throw stuff at. Disengage again.
Meanwhile, Echo Fox actually had the minion wave. They are going to abandon it here for a second. Aphromoo gets a pull.
Monte's at half health. They got to be careful. They could almost chunk him out. He's very, very close to dying. Hexdrinker popped. Who's going to get in range? The flash forward, the pillar not going to get him as Monte jumps back.
Is going to zone out Smoothie, though. He goes back in.
Giant pulverize onto 3. He's looking for the front line, but now he's got no ult and he's killed off. He goes in for the play, gets nothing for it.
And 100 Thieves corral 1 extra kill for themselves on the escape, increasing the gold lead. And this has just been so scattered. There's a Cloud Drake up right now, already moving over to the objective, but Huni wants to defend it.
10-6 on the scoreboard and a 1,500 gold lead for 100 Thieves. As that bot lane wave is pushing slowly towards the turret and the Cloud Drake is being started. Huni does not have reinforcements, as you're mentioning. Trying to slow down the take, but...
Odisun's going to walk down to add a little bit of damage. Aphromoo actually has to be kind of careful with his trades with Huni here.
Looks like it's just enough as...
Huni 1v3 is going to do damage now.
Yep, and the threat of everyone else. So now, wait, are they just going to get this?
There's no smite.
Oh! Cody's son grabs the Cloud Drake.
No smites around, and it's the Jin W able to grab it.
Whew, that was pretty sneaky, but good job there. And Echo Fox clears out mid lane, but that is now a Drake on the side of 100 Thieves.
All right. Scryer's Bloom's propped here around Baron as they quickly transition over to the next objective. Again, they're sending Damonte up into the side lanes to collect a lot of these minions, though. Big double stacked minion wave up there for him to get. They want their assassin, to be threatening once they transition here and be able to take out the Jin. Cody's son has to be held accountable for using his flash like that. He has no extra summoner spell for the next team fight and will not be able to escape.
Watch out for the threats on the back line then. It's still an assassin-heavy game. Plenty of diving available. This team's still very close here. The battle for the 3rd seed heading into playoffs. Certainly a nice one. The honor of facing against FlyQuest, which seems to be the weakest of the quarterfinal teams. Based on today and based on, I feel like, what these teams have looked like in the last half of the split.
100 Thieves pushing up mid lane. They've got Someday with teleport going to hold the Akali split push. Meanwhile, getting some damage on this turret. Zoning goes in!
Oh, they almost pick off the Kindred, but pops the respite, buys some time. The flash forward, the jump in, but Lost can't quite get that kill. Giant stun out of Smoothie, though. Can he run down Rio? He's close. Huni gets 1, and the backline access. Damonte finds a 2nd, looking for a 3rd. Cody's son has nowhere to go. A 3-0 team fight, and they're running for the hills.
Huge collapse there for Echo Fox. They wipe the floor with 100 Thieves. 3 kills for themselves. Baron is available, and Huni's not done.
He's going to find the ult, but not the stun and a Someday, only a slow one to end. That might be enough, though, as Alistar's over the wall. Headbutt Pulverize almost in range. He's going to find it. There's a CC. Erupted to buy some time, though, and watch out, Alistar. He's only at 1,000 health, but they're going to get that first kill, a shutdown. The kill goes over, another mark to Kindred.
That is 4 kills for nothing for Echo Fox. They start up the Baron, and Someday's the only one on 100 Thieves who can do anything about it. He has Beast and Flash available. He could go for the hero steal.
He can
1v5.
Better than Smite. They've got to peel back out of him. He's going to try. He's going to try, but he gets dropped too quickly. I appreciate the attempt, but Echo Fox grabs Baron and a delayed ace. Not even done yet. Over the wall they go. Looks like it's the 5-for-0 with Baron.
And just like that, Echo Fox scoop up a bunch of kills. They grab the Baron, and they prime themselves for the 3rd place spot. Here's another look at the dive. Lost immediately goes to try and counter, so Smoothie finds Ryu after he had no choice but to use the distortion backwards, and then Damonte came in on the flank off of his split push, finishing off the backline. You talked about the backline access for these Assassin's Freak. They made it very easy with that dive, and now it's Echo Fox with the pushing power.
Able to get past the early game deficits there. Losses in lots of these lanes. Mid and bot did not look good for Fox, but now you look at the scoreboard and suddenly their lead is over 3,000. Their Baron buff on for 2.5 minutes, and that graph right there tells you the story. Suffering through a rough early game, that's getting more and more red on that graph as they knock down more of these turrets. At least one might be answered by Ryu.
Yep, Ryu's still trying to get some gold back for the team here to make up the deficit, but it's going to be no answer to what Echo Fox are pushing with as they sweep through the turrets. 4 members actually going down bottom side now as the jungle hotly contested.
Looking forward as Hooney's able to kite back, though, playing on that knife's edge as he builds towards more damage. The pieces of a Rage Blade now in his inventory. Damonte able to just wave clear safely by himself, even burned his own escape just to get more energy to knock that down. Mid's under fire, though, the rotation a little bit slow for 100 Thieves, but it's enough to keep Fox from pushing. That turret might just survive, but it's getting lower from the cannon minion. If they don't knock that one down, it's gonna kill it! Thankfully, Baron Buff was out of range. The turret will stand with 105.
Lost able to clear out most of this jungle as well. And Echo Fox still pushing on 2 fronts. They've got the split push with both solo lane members here. Baron empowered minions on all sides, and the turrets start to fall.
4-2 in turrets. Echo Fox now knocking at the mid lane. This
Aphromoo wants it!
turret takes some damage. They get the pullback on a Dardoch. Is he going to get hit with even more of this? Able to kite back, stay alive, and here comes the ulti in for Jin Ryu. Some damage towards Smoothie. Pops his ult to stay alive, but he's getting pulled back farther and farther, and pretty soon he'll be in Afro ult range, flashing to stay away, but he's almost going to be killable, and that's going to be a kill for Ryu. And the Lamb's Bite is too slow. Dardoch getting out of his own ultimate, flashing, running away. Afro's still on the hunt, though. He's flashing in, gets the exhaust for the slow, skewers him backwards. 2 straight kills for 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves just go straight to the heart of the team. Smoothie goes down. Dardoch tries to save him, but he's too late with the Rams of Spite. Then he dies for it, as well as Aphromoo does not give up on this game.
And Hooney is going to be safe enough to push. Even though it's 5v3 on the map, he sees 4 of them pushing in mid, so bot lane tier 2 is answered. With the Baron buff could even push on to Sunday even more, but no, he will recall to defend the inhibitor turret.
Ooh.
And 100 Thieves will not push any farther.
Man, it's up to the veterans of this team. Aphromoo at their inhibitor turret on Pike, looking for the play, forces it onto Kindred, and they're able to find the opening. 2 kills for themselves, and 100 Thieves fight for themselves to get a little bit of breathing room and put a stop to the Echo Fox push.
Echo Fox, though, still able to grab some of this on the back foot after those 2 deaths. They grab the bottom scuttle, right in time for the Cloud Drake spawning in 10 seconds, and they got that red buff steal from Hooney. I want to see if he walks top lane and uses teleport, or if he walks to bot side to join his team. His Rage Blade is now done. His inventory enough room for a Ruby Crystal. And he's riding towards the top side, maybe a couple of jungle camps on his way. So they will be playing around the teleport. Either way, no one's going to stop them. Cloud Drake picked up, no problems. This could have been 3 in a row, but 1 was stolen by Cody Sun. Still the move speed lead to Echo Fox.
Yeah, and Echo Fox once again splitting up 1-3-1. Hooney on top side. Meanwhile, Damonte bottom does not have teleport, so he cannot join. And 100 Thieves still have the option of Aphromoo, the shot caller, the playmaker, the spring split MVP, trying to force plays for the team while Echo Fox are splitting like this. He's trying to punish them for spreading out their resources.
5,500 though. Echo Fox able to play that split push pretty well. They don't have TP for Damonte. He's playing actually bot lane. Dark's actually near him. Maybe a bit of a flank if it's... Ooh, dangerous.
He's gonna walk into it.
Almost gets found out. Only takes a couple hundred damage, walks back away. Damonte's got to respect this, though. He's pillared up. Jumps the wall with E. Just fine.
Meanwhile, they've already got bottom lane pushing for Echo Fox. Top lane, Hooney's also moving it up. And so they have a little time to wait before the dragon comes back up. The minion waves are in place.
Damonte knocks that one down again. That's going to be a wave that's soon to reach the inhibitor turret as Enda takes away these raptors. They're still kind of trading resources. Items still spiking up across the board. Cody Sun's already down at the Infinity Edge, and he's very nearly at 100% crit chance, so he's in a good spot. Somewhat similar scenario here for Lost, who's got 2 crit items done. Sorry, just the 1. He's stopped by for Hexdrinker, but of course, Kaisa, more of an on-hit champion, doesn't require IE nearly as badly. Just less of a tank killer in general without that Infinity Edge to chew through things, so I feel like Cody Sun's going to be in a pretty good spot in a lot of these fights.
Yep, at least he has his E and his Q evolved. Going to provide quite a bit of utility as well for the team fight and staying alive. But we have seen Lost this game over and over. Immediate reaction with the ultimate. No hesitation. He's diving very deep in on these plays on any low health members. And it was a large part his offensive play at their mid lane turret on the 100 Thieves push that got Echo Fox that Baron, that put them in this position where they have the lead in the game.
So things to watch out for. Stopwatch is available on the Cho'Gath and the Akali for some playmaking inside the team fight. Otherwise, I don't see any other way to turn gold. So these champions, not all very survivable. Huni, least of which, as Ryu is behind him. It's a very squishy build. Nara's going to flash to break the chain, but Afro's here as well. Gets exhausted, but not yet stunned. Still trying to run away, but the health bar is zeroed. Ryu gets that kill.
And 100 Thieves find their pick. They cut off Huni as he gets exhausted in mini Nara form, immediately burst him down, and that puts a stop to it for Echo Fox. Baron is on the table in 20 seconds as well. 45 left on Huni's Death Chamber, even though he has teleport.
25-second window, Kobe. Quick math there, and that might be what 100 Thieves can play around. For now, though, Echo Fox able to take control of this. They've got the controller on the river. They've got the blue buff steal coming in as well. But Cho'Gath's coming around. This could be a bit dangerous as Dardoch gets over the wall, and suddenly in the middle of 4 enemy champions, the Jin shot's coming in, but now Lost goes backline, and he can't quite get Cody-san. 5 HP left on him, and now there's nowhere to go. Lost gonna get jumped up. The ult's gonna miss for Afro move, but they will chase him down. Ryu on a killing spree.
Oh, and just like that, 100 Thieves have an opening of a lifetime here. Baron is on the table with 3 Echo Fox members dead. Cody-san was at maybe 20 HP there. One more auto from Lost. He was so close to grabbing that kill into the backline. Doesn't get it though, and that means 100 Thieves with Cho'Gath. No ultimate available though for someday, so it will be a very, very small opportunity to steal.
Huni smoothing into Monte. This could be their last chance to stay in the game. A 5v3 at Baron. The pull onto Smoothie. Has the ult, pops it now. Looking at damage towards Afro, but Huni's pushed away. A quick stun from Smoothie's side, but Ryu not taking any damage. They're buying some seconds, but now with the ulti's timed out, these are going to be some easy kills. 3,000 left on the Baron. The smite should be easy. They're getting it lower. That's picked up, no problem for Anda. And now Damonte might be on the run. Can he get over the wall if he needs to? Ease backwards, looking for some way out in the Shroud. He's gonna get found out a little bit more. Huni gonna find an ult for a bit of damage, but they cannot secure any of this. Damonte pops the stopwatch, but he's got nowhere to go. A shutdown through for the Pike. Another kill for 100 Thieves.
Are you kidding me? Echo Fox just scattered to the winds. 100 Thieves now with the Baron of their own, and the tables have turned, my friend. Here's another look at it. Dardoch inside the blue buff rush right there. Runs into the entire team. Lost. Tries to dive in the backside to kill off Cody-san. Doesn't quite get it, but in the process of doing so, puts himself next to Anda, who's able to finish him off there with the help of his teammates. And after that, 100 Thieves just picking up kills across the map. Look at that damage from Lost. My goodness. He did his best, but not going to be enough here. Inhibitor turret going down, and inhibitor soon to follow.
10 seconds on Damonte. Inhibitor going to be a guarantee. The gold still down, actually, for 100 Thieves. They've got to make up some ground with this Baron buff still. With 2 minutes to play, though, it shouldn't be much of a problem. The recalls come through to stop Huni.
This is an Elder Dragon that's making its way onto the Rift in 25 seconds as well. Huni cannot afford to die here. He pushes it into the turret, pops out of the Rupture, though, and will be able to escape.
So he's going to be alive, but top lane tier 2 is going to fall. Gold spread across 100 Thieves here, making the game only 400 apart. Elder Dragon alive in 10 seconds. Right now, that's mostly 100 Thieves with better wave control, mid and top pushed in. Although bot side may be the more important part of the map, as that's where the Dragon is spawning right now.
Yep, right back out onto the field. All five members of both teams are grouped up. Huni actually starts it. He wants to build up the rage for Meganar right now, and it's going to pop.
It's a bigger Dragon for Echo Fox. Pretty big deal. They pick this one up. It's still getting burned down. Can they reach it in time? And he can't. It's smited away by Dardoch, and they're going to get 1 kill, 2 kills. 100 Thieves in a 5v3. Make it 2. It's a triple already for the Jin. He's looking for number 4. How fitting it would be as Lost is trying to kite away, but he's going to get knocked down. 4 kills for Jin. It's actually better if Smoothie doesn't die, but he might just look for that pentakill, as there's nowhere else to go. Does Cody-san get it to secure 3rd place? Pentakill for Cody-san. Baron's still on for a minute, and the base is open.
Oh, 100 Thieves are gonna finish this with no Echo Fox member alive. Baron buff headed to the Nexus.
3rd place in the regular season secured for 100 Thieves. They will play FlyQuest in the quarterfinals. Echo Fox will drop, and they'll face TSM.
What a game. Back and forth there between Echo Fox and 100 Thieves. In the end, 100 Thieves pick up the extra kills. They grab Baron, finish off Damonte in the jungle. and push for the win after Elder Dragon.
An ending in style, no less. Cody's son pentakill to secure the deal. That game was back and forth. 37 minutes, it felt longer. So much action here. A huge laning phase lead for 100 Thieves. They won mid lane and bot lane. They got the first several kills, first turret I think as well. But Echo Fox found ways to come back. They got their own gold lead, they got a Baron. Back and forth it went. 100 Thieves eventually took it at the end.
And there you have it. 100 Thieves will finish 3rd place in the summer split.
Yep.
2nd place in spring. Great first year for that squad.
Now we'll see him again next week when they take on FlyQuest. But for now, let's send it down to Avli in the 100 Thieves Pentakiller.
Thanks, guys. Cody's son ending a losing streak, going 2-0 and ending the game with a pentakill. Tell me about that moment.
Yeah, I just played really loose because the last game I played, I felt like I was really nervous and I didn't really play at my standards. So this game I really wanted to play well for the team because they carried me last game. So.
How do you feel about your performance overall? You said you didn't do too well, but I mean, the results did pay off.
Yeah, the early game was like really hard for me in the FlyQuest game, and I just tried to keep my cool. And Sunday was really encouraging for me, and he said that we can still win. And yeah, my whole team played really well, so I just tried to help my team and then come back into the game.
And coming into playoffs, you guys need to maybe work on a little bit of improvement. So what do you think should be the focus for that?
We have a lot to improve on, and after the O2 week this week, we had a really long discussion, team meeting and review, and we came up with some really good stuff. And I think as long as we keep practicing the things that I've probably been saying, then we'll be a really good team into playoffs.
And you're going to be taking on FlyQuest in the quarterfinals next week. What are your thoughts on that match?
Yeah, definitely need to play well this time against Turtle and JJ. They crushed me pretty hard the last time I played against them, so I want to get my revenge. And then, yeah, I think as long as we focus on our own play, then we'll be fine in the FlyQuest match.
Cody-san, thank you and congratulations again. And for more, let's hear from the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avli. A sweet way to secure the win for your team. The very first pentakill of Cody's son's NALCS career.
Wow.
Hey, 100 Thieves come away with the victory in what was a very back-and-forth game between the two of these squads. At one point, Fox pretty significantly up, pressure around the entire map, and yet 100 Thieves finds a way to claw back into it.
Yeah, it was so swingy, actually, because the start of it, we were thinking 100 Thieves was going to be in control. Demonte's Akali didn't necessarily look very clean. The early double kill for 100 Thieves.
Generally, you don't want to go into a 2v1 without your Shroud, and you usually want to stand a Kindred ultimate with Ignite on you. Some just tips for solo queue.
Yep.
But that was pretty disastrous start because it also baited Smoothie into dying as Dardoch and everyone else was kind of sticking around trying to get Demonte out. And with the fact that the Assassin matchup was suddenly not going in his favor, we thought Demonte was going to be in trouble. But here, Shoney knows what's going on, trades the kill back, and starts getting the team, starts kind of breaking the game down. It got very scrappy from this point
Very
onward.
chaotic. This was a peculiar play. Mark, I know you have some thoughts on like how exactly it should have played out, because Huni comes in here.
Yeah, so this is something that they're going to do to Cody a lot this game, is whenever he starts ulting, Lost or somebody is going to shoot him and then be able to jump on. I thought for sure there, Lost was going to go in with the Huni ult TP behind.
Right.
They kill him, then they might be on Pike, and they might be able
Huni's about to hit Mega.
Yeah, I thought this was a fight that they actually could have won a lot harder, even though it does work out.
And I think that's absolutely a split call. I think that's Huni saying go, 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 and that's Smoothie probably telling Lost, no, no, no. they both listen to themselves. Like
Yeah, the epitome of
because,
Echo
yeah,
Fox
you see
problem.
the damage Huni had on Aphromoo there. You bring a Kaisa into that long fight with a huge shield, it probably works.
And, I mean, this was a game where Echo Fox got a Baron buff, got like 4K ahead with a 1-3-1 comp, and we thought the Gnar was going to get unanswerable. Demonte had mostly gotten himself back into the game, but they
we've seen that Gnar do some scary
This
things
was
in
a
the past.
very bad play by Echo Fox. They already have a dead top laner. You just need to defend Baron 5v4. You do not need to counter jungle blue buff before defending. And
Wait,
they
but
just
my
get
Akali
super
really
fast.
needs that blue buff.
And there's that play that we were talking about earlier, Lost does take it. I mean, Cody's son lives with a sliver of HP. Can't fault Lost for doing it because if they didn't do something there, that's a dead Dardoch and that's a free Baron. So I actually really respect Lost going in there. Just the damage was marginally off.
And look at Dardoch here. The Trundle Pillar makes him air, and then he's literally gone.
The Trundle Pillar, like half-second displacement was enough for someday to kill him during.
Yeah, I will say that even though Dardoch had a bad game on Kindred, this was also a difficult situation for Kindred to succeed. Huge amounts of burst damage are difficult for Kindred to deal with because you never want to waste your ultimate, but also your window for reaction becomes smaller and smaller depending on more burst.
That, plus the fact that all his carries were extremely mobile and get to backline better than him. Akali goes backline better than him. Lost goes backline better than him. Gnar goes backline better than him. And a lot of times it kind of felt like people were dying around Dardoch and he had a hard time getting involved. So I can't
that gold grab,
but
almost a 2K, 2.5K gold lead around 10 minutes for 100 Thieves, swings all the way to 6K for Echo Fox before it trickles back in 100 Thieves' favor near the end of the game. But we have our playoffs decided now at this point. 100 Thieves does fall into that third place slot. Again, we kind of talked about the missteps here at the end of the season, and I think Cody even echoed some of that sentiment in his interview there that, you know, he had been playing with a lot of pressure in game one today. They had some poor performances near the end of the split. So for him, it was about loosening up, about being comfortable again on the stage, knowing that they're going to go into even higher pressure matches from this point onward.
I think the only thing we definitively learned today is that the quarterfinal matchups are going to be a mess. Because, like, I didn't walk away from this like, yes, 100 Thieves is the third place team and FlyQuest is the sixth for sure. Like, I think these will still be some pretty back and forth series come next week.
All right, well, let's check in on the season-long competition between Mark and Jat at the prediction game. Mark entered the last tiebreaker with a one-game lead, but Jat, late surge, ties the competition, which of course means that nobody receives this guy.
Stop your
We're
chair
tied.
there.
I don't know.
Means I get to hold on to the prediction pineapple.
After 94 games.
My God.
We're
That's
exactly the
impressive,
same.
actually, for you guys to be exactly identical
Well, I had,
in
what,
your
a
scores
4-game lead
through that
in the
many
middle of the
games.
split?
You were up to three or four games at some point.
Now, here's the thing.
then you
Because
had,
it's
like,
a
the
tie,
Echo
I
Fox
hate
game
ties. I absolutely hate ties, as most of us do here in North America. So it cannot end this way.
No.
And I promise
Can't
you,
split
it will
the
not
prediction
end this
pineapple.
way.
Cut it.
So we will announce on NALCS Countdown on Saturday how exactly this grudge match will be decided. But we're going into sudden death, boys, and I hope you're ready because the
Yeah,
producers.
we're not doing the whole playoffs.
No, the
This is the
producers and
regular
I
season
are going to
award.
cook something special up. I tell you that much. So hey, prediction pineapple's going back in storage, and we get to take a look at the games we have in store for this weekend with our schedule presented by Jersey Mike's. Our fifth matchup between Echo Fox and 100 Thieves will be at 2 p.m. Pacific on Saturday, 1:30 p.m. for the countdown. Don't you dare miss it. And then on Sunday, 100 Thieves take on FlyQuest in our 3-6 matchup. That kicks off at 11:30 a.m. Pacific for the countdown and noon for game one.
Yeah, Echo Fox TSM is the one that my eyes are kind of drawn towards because the star power on those lineups is huge. Echo Fox
funny-
did 2-0 them
I
during
was
the
going
regular
to say, what's
season.
funny is these are the matchups that we started the day with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did it.
Echo Fox.
We did it. We broke the ties.
we actually seeded the playoff bracket at the beginning of the day.
wasn't
needed?
Yeah. So literally the strength of victory, which was determining side selection for the games, ended up being the results after 4 games.
Yep.
But at least we got a pentakill dash.
Yeah, we had a good time
Yeah.
too, man. A lot of laughs.
Yeah.
Some fun, some good League of
Got to
Legends.
predict some games.
We got to predict some games. Hey, if we didn't have this tiebreaker day,
I would've
you would
lost.
not have. So there was something that came out of
Yeah.
it. I love it. All
It
right.
makes me more upset.
But okay, actually, one final question before we go, because looking at those quarterfinal matchups and how the games played out today, we did talk about the top 2 in Team Liquid and Cloud9, and I don't want these teams to be forgotten when we talk about the playoff picture.
Yeah.
And how much of a mountain any of these 4 teams have to climb if they are to win their quarterfinal and then go up against one of either Team Liquid or Cloud9.
I absolutely agree. I think with the way that Cloud9 surged on the second half of the season, winning 8 out of 9, but then the way Team Liquid surged, winning 7 out of 9. They are the 2 best second half teams. They're the 2 best overall teams. They are the clear favorites heading into the playoffs.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you Thursday night for Academy Worlds and right back here on Saturday for NALCS quarterfinals. Good night.
Don't see anyone else doing
I'll be
Academy.
there.
Yeah.
Academy Worlds.
Boom.
Squads, the battle for seeding, and they battle for side choice in the first quarter final. but he's got no way out. He's stunned, and First Blood comes through. Now for the trade, though, there's nowhere for Dardock to go. He does get killed, but First Blood, more gold to Echo Fox. Echo Fox grab all the kills, 9-4 in this one. Mithy's gonna fall, the Nexus is theirs, and it will be side selection in the quarterfinal for Echo Fox. He's gonna try to push them back. Now can he steal? He flashes in, and he's gonna get it, and it grabs the Baron. Now can they get more? Turtle's days are numbered. Can Flackbush win this fight? So far, they cannot. Acro won't even drop with the shields on top. Finally one for Flame, but his team is dropping around him. And 100 Thieves will end the regular season in a top 4 spot. Well, on the TSM side, and now again, oh! What a flash for Bjergsen to secure the kill. Big burst for Centaur. That's a flash away. Grixel on the chase, lands the Q. Couple more shots, and they're gonna get that kill as that one falls in a second. 2-0 TSM. The Nexus exposed, and FlagQuest is likely to fall to 6th. TSM grabbed this win. They'll take the 5th seed. Trundle has to get back in there. He's got to be careful. He jumps out and lands respite. The coordination is wrong. First play to the Trundle. Still 1v3, and if he jumps, he shows up in a Cho'Gath. Goes to the big ult. Gets some pretty big damage. Oh, he's actually going to get him. You're freaking kidding me.
Blanks, one HP too.
Okay.
Nice, let's fight.
Nice Tanner.
Oh, okay.
All you.
Nice, let's go.
Nice Tanner.
100 Thieves in a 5v3, make it 2. It's a triple already for the Jhin. Does Cody's son get it to secure 3rd place? Kill for Cody's son. 3rd place in the regular season secured.